Let's be clear, AI in banking is no longer some science fiction experiment, especially not in Southeast Asia. Down there, it's already a powerhouse. It's generating billions in value, it's completely overhauling how banks operate, and it's even opening up financial services to millions of people for the very first time. So the big question is, how? How are they actually pulling this off? Well, let's dive in and look at 3 of the region's top banks to see exactly what they're doing.
All right, here's our game plan. We're going to start with the big picture, how AI grew up from being just a test project into a full-blown industrial tool. Then we'll get into 3 amazing case studies. One is about how a bank literally turned AI into a billion-dollar machine. The second is about using AI to build a super efficient engine inside the company. And the third is about using this tech to actually change people's lives. And at the end, we'll tie it all together and see what these 3 very different approaches tell us about the future of money.
So first things first, let's talk about this huge shift. AI moving way beyond the pilot phase. This isn't just some minor update, it's the real turning point that makes everything else we're about to discuss even possible.
Think of it this way, we've officially moved out of the lab and onto the factory floor. The era of tiny, cautious AI tests, it's over. For the big banks in Southeast Asia, the question isn't if AI can deliver results anymore. Now the only question is how fast they can scale it up to transform every single part of their business.
Okay, so if going big is the name of the game, our first case study is a masterclass. We're talking about taking AI and turning it into cold, hard cash. And Singapore's DBS Bank, they practically wrote the book on it.
1 billion Singapore dollars. Just let that number sink in for a second. By the end of 2025, that is the actual, tangible value DBS expects to get from its AI operations. This isn't some pie-in-the-sky forecast. It's proof positive that their big bet on technology is paying off in a massive way.
So how in the world do you get to a number that big? It all comes down to scale, and I mean serious scale. We're talking more than 1,500 different AI models running live across 370 different parts of the bank. Their secret sauce is this co-pilot framework. Basically, they're giving their employees super smart AI assistants like DBS Joy for the corporate team or the CSO assistant for customer service to work right alongside them and just boost their abilities.
And you know what? This wasn't just about making the bank run better on the inside. All those AI tools that made employees smarter and faster, they led to a way better experience for customers. The proof is right here, a massive 23% jump in satisfaction among their corporate clients. It just goes to show, a smarter bank is a bank its customers actually like dealing with.
And this quote really gets to the heart of their whole strategy.
See, it's not about replacing humans with AI, it's about creating a powerful partnership. This human-in-the-loop idea means you let the AI do all the grunt work, the boring, repetitive, data-heavy stuff, which frees up the human experts to do what we do best, use our judgment and make those really tough, complex calls.
So if DBS was all about creating value on the outside, our next story flips that around to focus on power on the inside. We're heading over to Thailand to see how Kasich Korn Bank is using AI to build a ridiculously efficient engine that makes the whole organization run faster and smarter.
Now, K-Bank's strategy revolves around this really cool concept called agentic AI. So what on earth is that? Okay, forget about AI that just gives you a little suggestion. Think of these as autonomous digital workers. Seriously, you give them a task, and they see it through from beginning to end, talking to other systems, even other AIs, to get the job done all by themselves. No hand-holding needed. And if you want to see just how efficient that is, get this. Over 500,000 lines of code. And all of it was written by AI coding assistants, not human programmers. That is just an unbelievable speed boost for their entire tech team. So, to put that number into perspective, these AI tools cut the time developers spent on their work by 20%. A full 20%. That's like giving every single developer an entire day back every single week. That's time they can now spend on creating the next big thing, instead of just writing routine code. And they didn't just stop at coding. K-Bank aimed these AI agents at one of the most painful and complicated parts of running a bank, all that regulatory and compliance stuff. These automated systems can monitor for privacy and compliance issues around the clock, 24/7, saving thousands of human hours and, maybe more importantly, slashing the bank's risk.
All right, for our last case, we're shifting gears. We're moving away from profits and efficiency, and we're going to talk about people. This story isn't just about making a bank better. It's about using AI to create real, powerful social change. Let's take a look at how Bank Rakyat Indonesia is tackling one of the biggest challenges out there: financial inclusion.
Here it is. This is the fundamental problem that BRI is trying to crack. In a country like Indonesia, you've got millions and millions of people who don't have bank accounts or official credit histories. They're just not in the system. So, how can a bank possibly figure out if they're a safe bet for a loan?
Well, the answer is pretty brilliant. They use data, just not the kind of data you'd normally think of. BRI's AI completely ignores traditional credit scores. Instead, it looks at what's called alternative data. We're talking about things like local crop yields, weather reports, and even something as basic as how someone uses their mobile phone. The AI pieces all these little clues together to build a credit profile from nothing. It is a totally new way of looking at risk.
And what was the result? Well, for the bank, it meant a huge boost in efficiency, a 30% improvement in how quickly they could approve loans. But what that really means is they could get money into the hands of small businesses faster than ever before, right when those entrepreneurs needed it the most.
But, a bar chart can't tell you the whole story, not even close. The real impact here isn't a percentage, it's measured in people's lives. Because of this AI, millions of people who were completely invisible to the financial system, we're talking farmers, street vendors, local craftspeople, they were finally seen. They could finally get that small loan to buy some new equipment, grow their business, and build a better future for themselves and their families.
Okay, so we've looked at 3 banks in 3 different countries with 3 totally different strategies for using AI. So what happens when we put them all side by side? Let's zoom out for a second and compare these 3 visions for where AI is headed. When you lay it all out like this, you can really see the different game plans. You've got DBS, who went straight for economic value, chasing that billion-dollar revenue number. Then you have Kasikorn Bank, who looked inward, using AI to build this incredibly efficient machine. And finally, BRI, who looked outward, to the community, and measured their success by the number of new people they could help. And what's so fascinating is that none of these is the right answer. They just show how incredibly flexible AI is as a tool for reaching completely different goals.
Which brings us to one last, really important question. As these AI agents get smarter and start handling more and more complex tasks all on their own, tasks that used to take entire teams of people, we have to ask ourselves, what's left for us? What becomes the new, uniquely human role? In a world run by intelligent machines, where does our judgment, our creativity, and our intuition fit in?